Hey everybody, welcome to our DOS playthrough of The Elder Scrolls Chapter 2, Daggerfall. So this is going to be a playthrough on a native DOS PC patched to the latest version because that's how my disc came. The short version about the hardware is that it's a Pentium II PC that I put together, and we've got a Roland SC55 for the music, but we'll talk more about that at the end of the video for people who are interested. The other thing that's interesting about this playthrough, though, is that for our character creation, I selected all of our skills completely randomly. So there's a separate character creation video that's long and detailed that goes over the entire process. If you want to see the magic as it happens, I think it's pretty fun. I definitely recommend checking it out. There'll be a link to it. So I recommend going to watch that video and then coming back if you haven't seen it. But for people who just want to kind of jump into the game here, we will do so. So the first thing we've got to do is watch a couple intros, because just due to order of events, I had to kind of get into the game and so I could save the character that I created. But I'll cut in those intros now so we can kind of see just what's going on here in Daggerfall.
"400 years after Tiberseptimus' reign, the beginning will meet the end, and the bloody circle will close at the empire of Tamriel. The unworthy heirs of the Septim dynasty have allowed the bonds of the empire to weaken and crack. Uriel Septim, the Seventh, cannot repair what his ancestors ignored. The provinces fight among themselves like neglected children, drunk with rebellion. One indomitable power hides itself, but not forever."
Excuse the gloom, but none may know of this meeting. The nature of my trouble is darker still. Over a year ago, King Lysandus of Daggerfall died honorably on the field of battle. He was as loyal a subject, ally, and friend as you are. I did grieve for him, but his spirit does not rest. With a spectral army, he haunts his former kingdom, crying for revenge. I do not know why a good and loyal man would be so cursed. Perhaps you can find the answer and close the marble jaws of oblivion, bringing peace to his soul. I ask this as your emperor, your friend. I have one lesser request. Several years ago, I wrote a letter to the Queen of Daggerfall. It never arrived. The letter was of a sentimental and personal nature. If you find and destroy that letter, I will be grateful. Now, my champion, rest well this night, for tomorrow you sail for the kingdom of Daggerfall.
Okay, so it seems like we're on a quest for the Emperor to handle this this sort of undeady kind of situation that's been going on. And before we get into the game, there's this screen here that kind of explains what's about to happen to us and why we are where we are. So let's read this. You wake and look around the room. Some hours ago, you were in a boat en route to Daggerfall when a storm of supernatural strength boiled over the Iliac Bay like a malefic creature. Your boat was destroyed, but you managed to swim through the churning water to a promontory rock. There you found a cave and escaped the fury of the storm. You had only just lit a small fire when a mudslide sealed you within. Your fear of being buried alive calmed when you saw the corridor leading out of the cavern. Perhaps there is a way out of this cave after all. Once free of the cave, you can begin the Emperor's quest. And then it just asks us if we want to enable the tutorial, which I did, because maybe it'll have some interesting stuff and give us a little bit of early direction. We're not going to pay too much attention to it, particularly in the earlier stages. Yeah, let's jump in the game here. Okay, here we are. Now, I've already set up my controls and everything the way I want them, so I've got like mouse look enabled, for example. And then we have this UI at the bottom. We're not going to be using this, but I figured I'd leave it because this is how you load into the game, just to show it off. We are going to shut that off, so we're going to go full screen. And then we're also going to disable head bobbing, because the game's kind of choppy enough as it is without the head bobbing. Yeah, I don't like it, basically. Aside from that, yeah, like I said, I've got all my controls set up the way that I want them, as far as all that kind of stuff goes. So, yeah, and this also proves that Bethesda can, in fact, do proper key bindings. I don't know why they haven't bothered to do that for the past several releases of their games, but, there you go. If you ever wondered if it was possible, it is, in fact, possible. Anyway, enough of that. So there you go. There's what our main screen looks like now. A lot cleaner, I think. A lot nicer. There's our little fire. Okay, so let's very briefly, we'll talk about our character for the people who didn't want to watch the character creation video, because it is kind of important. Yes, so this is just more tutorial stuff. We don't need to worry about that, although this dungeon is called the Privateer's Hold, apparently. Okay, so first things first for our character. Here's all of our stats. These do, you know, more or less what you would expect them to do. There's actually little, like, descriptions for all of these, so I'll let you pause the video if you really want to read these. But like I said, they kind of just do what you expect. So there you go. There's all of our stats in the descriptions. Now for our skills, like I said, I did them all randomly. And what we ended up with for primary skills is Stealth, Dodging, and Nymph. So to explain Nymph and the other language skills, basically when we get near a creature of the appropriate type, there's a chance that it'll just be pacified and won't attack us unless we attack it. Dodging is bugged, as I understand it, and actually makes it harder for us to hit enemies rather than making it harder for enemies to hit us. So that kind of sucks. And then we have Stealth, of course, which does what you would expect. Our major skills, we have Giantish, Destruction Magic, and Daedric. So that's pretty good. Got some magic going. And then our minor skills, we got Longblade, Climbing, Mysticism, Magic, Running, Blunt Weapons, and Hand-to-Hand. And our hand-to-hand damage you can see here. We're going to be trying to focus on hand-to-hand in this playthrough. We'll see if it works. But we can always fall back on other weapons if necessary. And our hand-to-hand damage will go up as our skill goes up. Which is not the case for other weapons, as I understand it. Other weapons just increase our chance to hit. So, there's all that. And then, of course, we have all of our other skills. We can raise these, but we won't level up by doing so. If we want to level up, we got to worry about our 3 primary skills, and then our 2 highest major skills will contribute to level ups, and then our 1 highest minor skill will contribute to level ups, as I understand it. So there's the gist of that. And then we also have advantages and disadvantages. So we've got a resistance to paralysis. We heal a little bit faster when we rest. Athleticism makes us be able to run and jump and stuff a little bit better. We have a little bit better than normal spell points. And we have expertise in hand-to-hand. So we get, I believe, a better chance to hit and maybe damage with hand-to-hand. And then we have darkness-powered magery. So when we're in daylight outside, I believe our magicka score is cut in half, or spell points are cut in half. And then we can't use short blades, we can't use axes, and we can't use any kind of shield. And then the game kind of auto-generated a little bit of a backstory for us that we went through in the character creation video. So there's that. We are Khajiit, and I think these Khajiit are interesting because they're kind of more human, and they are canon, as I think this is an Omez Rot, but maybe somebody can correct me. whereas the more cat-like ones that we see from Morrowind on are the cat they rot. Anyway, aside from that, yeah, you can see we've kind of got like some fur and a tail and all that good stuff. So let's see what we started with for equipment here. We've got an iron left pauldron, we've got an iron longsword, so let's at least equip those, I guess. Actually, well, let's not equip that one. We don't need the longsword just yet. We'll see how things go, even though our hand-to-hand damage is terrible. Magic items, we just have our spell book, and then we've got a couple books. This is based on the backstory, I believe, or the sort of background that we selected as we made our character, which is also in the character creation video. Let's go ahead and we'll put our clothes back on here. And we have no ingredients or anything like that. We can read the books, but I'm not going to do that right now. Perhaps at a later date we'll check those out, or maybe at the end of the videos or something. Anyway, that's our character. Spell book, we've got the same starting spells as any other character. So there you go. That's the gist of what's going on here. I'm going to go ahead and make an extra save now. And so just gonna be my basic game save here. I'm going to overwrite the start save eventually. I've already backed it up. But yeah, here we are. In Privateer's Hold. Let's see if we can get out of here. There's actually also a little bit of info in our log, but we've already kind of read what's going on. This is just a reminder. Alright, let's begin exploring Privateer's Hold. So I have been through this dungeon once. It's a rat! A classic enemy. There are different kinds of attacks that we can do. Based on how you move the mouse, which is pretty cool. A little difficult to execute at times. We are playing on very high reflexes as well. There's some treasure, which means that enemies attack and move a little bit faster than they would if we were playing on normal. But in return, we level up very slightly faster, I believe. Yeah, so unfortunately we don't have a healing spell. So I think what we want to do for now is just kind of rest to get HP back as necessary, because it's very easy to die in the early game. Now the interesting thing about hand-to-hand is that some enemies require certain materials to hurt, and hand-to-hand attacks can hurt any kind of enemy, so we don't need to worry about material necessarily, which I think is interesting. Alright, let's see if we can get this bat out of here. Gotta punch the bat. We already took quite a bit of damage here from this bat. I don't know if we're going to be able to win against such a foe or not. There we go. We should actually probably be sneaking, and we can even slow ourselves down a bit, because monsters can indeed hear you, like through the walls and stuff. It says there are enemies nearby. I don't know if that's true or not. There's a bear. Why is there a bear here? Alright, well, the only way we're going to survive this is by hitting him with that, maybe? I can't get past him. So there you go, there's our first death. Just a random bear. Well, there you go. There's that. So like I said, you know, save early, save often. Because otherwise, we're going to have a hard time. Now, I expect that going with hand-to-hand is going to make our life a little bit more difficult in the early game. But it may come around and end up being quite powerful later. Just a hunch based on the fact that we can get more damage by increasing the skill. So we'll see how things go. Let's just get this bat out of here if we can. Let's see, we started with 38 HP. And this bat's already doing a number on us. We also start with, or not start with, but for our character creation, we're getting 13 HP per level, between 1 and 13. And then our, we died to the bat. And then our endurance gives us an extra 1 HP. I wonder if I can sneak up on the bat. We do have stealth as one of our skills, so we are going to be using it fairly frequently, even though it makes us move slower. Because that's just what we are going to have to do to level up. Alright, so we didn't sneak up on him. But hopefully we can get him out of here. We don't start with very much skill in hand-to-hand, which is part of our problem. It might be better for us to use the sword for a bit while we're in here. Because, yeah, our damage is so low. Yeah, there you go. we can always fall back on the sword if we need to. But, there you go. So, a little bit of trouble already. Enemies nearby. I don't know that that's true. I think we can always come back down to here and rest, though. At least I hope. I can hear an enemy, but I can't see him. There we go. And now our hand-to-hand skill has improved, so if you look at minor skills, there we go. Now we have 17%. The skills can only level up kind of so often. So, you can't just get like a bunch of skill ups for one skill immediately. You kind of gotta rest and let some time pass in between skill ups. Okay. We don't want to go in there, probably. I mean, we can try it, but I don't expect good results here. Because this guy, we can't hurt him with our sword. He's got magic. As you saw. So, if we're going to kill that thing, we probably are going to need to use our own magic for starters. And then try to smack him, I guess. And backing up from enemies actually can help us here. Unfortunately, we can only do one shot at a time. If we had a steel weapon, we could hurt this guy. This is an imp, by the way. Whatever that's worth. Oh, there you go. I think we got him with the shock there. I forgot to actually cast it. I thought I did, but that was not the case. Okay, well that's pretty good. Most people just die to that creature immediately, so it's funny that we died to the bat, but not... well, I guess we did die to him once. So there you go, we got some gold, and then there's another shirt. Well, I mean, we'll take the shirt to sell it later, maybe. Now, our best bet is probably to come back over here and try to rest again. Gonna be a little bit slow going early on. That's okay. Where was I? Over here? Somewhere, I thought there was somewhere that I could rest, but maybe not. Sometimes enemies kind of get stuck in the walls. Like, here's the map. They're not even stuck in the walls, but just the distance is calculated irrespective of walls as far as being able to rest. So if there is a guy in like another room that we can't get into, even if there's no way that he could get to us, we still wouldn't be able to rest. Okay, here we go. Good stuff. Alright, let's continue on for a bit. So I'm crouching and I'm running. I don't know if that counts as sneaking or not. Well, they didn't fool this guy. But probably good to at least try to sneak, I guess, to the extent that we can. I'm not exactly sure what the process of leveling up sneak is. As far as if it's just automatic regardless of whether we're running or whatever, or if there's more to it. There we go. Alright, what do we got here? It's got some statues. I don't think these do anything. Not really. Let's go ahead and we'll continue on here. It would be nice if they started you with a healing spell, but that's not the case. Hey, there we go. So it doesn't matter how you start. You only need 2 skill ups to level up your first time. And so it looks like, so we get between 2 and 14 HP per level up as things stand right now. It looks like we got 8 hit points, so that's, you know, kind of average-ish, I guess. And I think you get between 4 and 6 of stat points per level up. So we rolled the max there, which is good. We could save scum, but I'm not going to do that as far as, you know, getting like max HP or getting max stat points. I'm just going to roll with what we get. Now, in the character creation video, I said I was going to increase our agility because we get a slight chance to hit, and supposedly gives us a better chance to not get hit. And I guess we do a couple points in int because we need this to get juiced as quickly as possible for just general spellcasting capability. So if we do that, I think we've got, well, plus 34, so that gives us 102 spell points, is that right? Which is not quite enough, because we have 56, or for destruction magic, our shock spell costs 56, so if we want to cast it twice, we need 112 magic. Can we get there with this? So 72, and then, what is that, plus 36, it's still only 108. So unfortunately, yeah, I guess we're going to be stuck with just 1 cast of it for the dungeon. 2 casts would have been really nice. That's alright, we'll make it work. Didn't give us our HP, though, when we leveled up, which is kind of annoying. There we go. Alright. Just want to keep track of our hand-to-hand damage as time goes on. Okay. So, I don't remember all the details of this dungeon, where everything is. So, oh, hello there. There's a bat. Just a surprise bat in here. We're doing some kind of kung fu ground kicks on him, I guess. I'm assuming, I know that there's like an enemy. I'm pretty sure there's an enemy anyway downstairs there, which is why I was sneaking. But you can probably hear us fighting this bat, I would think. A bit of clipping there. Trying to get this bat positioned a little better. I guess since we're going to rest anyway, and we do want to level our destruction magic, we should use our shock spell from time to time, since we're resting after any fight, or after every fight anyway. Well, that guy hasn't seen us yet. Oh no, he has. He's shooting at us with a bow. Okay, well, let's make another save there for now. We'll see what we can do. I don't know if we're going to be able to kick this guy to death or not. That might be a little too much to ask. Yeah, let's put the sword on for this guy, maybe. Gotta get the... There we go. This gives us a little bit better chance to actually kill this guy. Oh, we died. That's fine, though, because I think we should be able to kill this guy, I think. Let's try the sword immediately here. We'll get this ready. Just see if we can do a little better this time. So different swipes have a different chance to hit and to do different amounts of damage. So it's worth keeping in mind as you fight people. I'm not actually doing that. I'm just kind of moving the mouse back and forth and hoping for the best. Now, if you're playing on a lower difficulty, this guy might move like a little bit slower and be a little easier to kill. I would like to kill him because he's a human enemy, and he would have some gear for us, which would be nice to have. So we'll try this, 1 or 2 more times. If we can't get it, then so be it. We'll move on and try to not worry about it. There you go, get a good hit in there. Swinging some kind of an axe at us. Okay. The overhead chops are harder to hit but do more damage, whereas the thrusts do less damage but they're easier to hit. And then diagonal slashes also do more damage but are harder to hit with. And then just regular horizontal slashes are kind of average, I guess. Let's see if I can just get past this guy. Start going the other way. Not having much luck with this guy. He's got a lot of HP, apparently. He's got to be almost dead, though, I would think. These early enemies can't have that many HP. Just keep backpedaling as best we can here. If we had a bow or something, maybe that would be interesting, but we don't. This is also where, like, the extra magic points would come in handy. I wonder if we can rest out here and come back and try to fight him. He may just disappear, I don't know. I don't know if enemies heal or not. I don't think they do. I also saw that our critical strike increased there. I guess according to the wiki, we have, according to the wiki, critical strike doesn't work the way that it's supposed to, and doesn't actually increase damage. Just gives you a better chance to hit sometimes. Oh, you're a different person. Where did you come from? Well, now you're dead. He has died? Wait, is that the guy? No, that's the imp. He was using illusion magic, I guess. I don't know. Iron Claymore. I mean, we'll take it just to sell. What else have we got? Iron Staff. I don't know if different weapon types have better chances to hit certain types of enemies or not. I haven't read anything like that, but it could be the case. May as well equip the hat. We'll take the shield. We'll take the gold. What else have we got? Leather boots. I'm not sure if your equipment affects your chance to be stealthy or not. Something that'll require a bit more research. We'll at least take that, I guess. Oh, that's a left pauldron. Okay. Actually, no. Yeah, we have a left pauldron, but we want a right pauldron. So there you go. That's pretty good. This is a different hat. I like this hat better. We'll wear that one. And then a steel cuirass there, so that's not too bad to see. That said, though, our encumbrance has gone up substantially, but hey, we've got some equipment now, so I think that, the tedium of having to deal with that was probably worth it. Alright, so we'll take that off so we can continue trying to level up our hand-to-hand, but now we have a claymore, which will do a lot more damage, and since we can't use a shield, there's really no downside to using a two-handed weapon. Alright, now in theory there should be another enemy for us to deal with downstairs here. Still, I think. Unless that was the enemy that, I don't know, got repositioned somehow. So let's see how we do here. Let's get a shock spell ready. Oh, climbing mode. That's not what I want. It's because we're crouched. But yeah, there you go. There's a thief down here. I don't want to fight on the stairs. This is a little easier to deal with, I feel like. They attack pretty quick sometimes. I don't know if we're going to be able to beat this thief with, with the hand-to-hand. Let's try sneaking a little more effectively this time. By actually, like, using sneak mode. Because there is a backstab feature which does more damage. Looks like we didn't get it. But, it's alright. Worth a try. Yeah, I think we better... Where's that claymore? Give me that. It's not really where we want to be fighting this person, I think. Alright, let's try it this way. Right, we can't crouch and do this. Oh, well, I thought we had a chance there. Unfortunately, we got spotted. But a couple hits out of this claymore ought to put us in a lot better position, damage-wise, I would think. We don't get any bonus to hit from, like, strength, which is unfortunate. There we go. Thief has died. What do you have? A steel broadsword. We'll definitely take that, because that can hurt, like imps, for example, if there's another one in this dungeon somewhere, I can't recall. Steel left pauldron. We'll definitely equip that. And then these are just basic leather. We're not going to worry too much about that, but we will take them with us. Let's see if there's anything else down here. Yeah, there is. There's whatever's going on here. I'm not sure what that was. Some cactus. I guess that's just an ingredient. What were these? It was a wereboar's tusk. Yeah, cactus. And fairy dragon scales. So that's for potion crafting. Which, maybe we'll try at some point. We'll see. There we are. Uh-oh. A little bit of an audio bug there. That might be in part due to the sound card we're using, which is an Ensoniq Soundscape instead of like a Sound Blaster. Just because I thought it would be a little more interesting. The game does natively support the Ensoniq. But, maybe it comes with some baggage of some kind. Where am I going here? Is this the way I want to go? I think so. Can't actually get up the stairs while we're in crouch mode, unfortunately. I know there's a guy in here somewhere. And I think we've been spotted, I would assume, so let's just cut the nonsense and do that. This guy's an archer, actually. It's interesting, I guess. Actually, it might be better if we keep him on the other end of the table there. Use the pathing to our advantage. There's also some rats in the other room, I guess. There we are. Yeah, you come back over here. Come and get smacked. He can hit us back from across the table. But I guess he's not going to very often. It's a little tedious, though, getting him to cooperate here. Oh, there you go. Smacked us for half our HP bar. Lovely. Probably better, it'll be faster if we just equip a weapon here. think the steel broadsword gives us a little bit of a bonus to hit, which will be useful. And then we can worry about leveling up hand to hand a little bit more on like the rats and stuff. I don't even know what he's swinging at over there. Okay, careful. Luckily, rats don't know how to open doors, as far as I know. Thrilling, gripping combat. This guy's not even wearing a shirt. I was gonna say, how is he still alive? He's been stabbed like 4 times. Alright, what does he have? He's got an iron Daikatana. Daikatana is the most powerful weapon in the game, because of course it is. We'll just take that. What do we got here? Wraith Essence. Pine Branch. A little bit more gold. Gold does have a weight in this game as well, which is worth considering. We'll take all this stuff. That's chain. Oh, and now we're already overburdened. That one's only got +1, so let's see. I'm not sure what is better than what. I'm going to guess that's awfully heavy and probably not worth as much. We don't need the long sword. So I'm going to take the armor over the weapons, I guess. And then we'll save the game here. And actually, let's remove that. We'll run over here. See if we can rest. There we are. Didn't get any skill ups there, unfortunately. Alright, let's see if we can't find these rats. Or maybe they're bats. I think they're rats. Somewhere, though. Are they in here? No, that's like... We'll come back to that. That's a room with a little bit of challenge for sure. Oh, hello there. We want to be in a position where we're getting attacked by 2 rats. One rat is going to be enough. Actually, also may as well just use that on one of them. I think there might even be another one in here somewhere. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to close that door. So I think there might be another one, just in case I don't want him getting out. So we should be able to come over here and rest again. Alright, stealth went up, hand-to-hand went up, critical strike went up. You'll love to see it. How are we looking here for hand-to-hand? Yeah, now we're doing 3 to 5. So there you go. I believe it takes 15 skill ups of, you know, the skills that we talked about previously as far as like primary, major, and minor before you get a level up. So in theory, our max level should be 30, 31, something like that. Based on how we started, it's like some kind of critter in there. But if we ignore dodge, I mean, dodge is going to level up on its own anyway, just through combat. But if we totally ignore it as best we can, our max level might be more like, you know, 26 or 27. So that's worth considering. We could go up this way. Like I said, I have been through this, but I don't exactly remember all the details. Sounds like there's a bear somewhere. And a bear is not something we're probably going to be able to punch to death right now. Let's just see what we've got here. Whatever it is can open a door. I think that means the jig is up. Oh, it's a thief. Okay. Let's get... all our weapons are down here. Yeah, give me this. Give me that. Let's see if we can take this thief out at the very least. We're not having much success, though. We did just save, so that's fine. Okay. So, let's get that Daikatana. Actually, I mean, this is fine. Yeah. Get this back on. Can we be sneaky this time? Yes, we can. Look at this. Actually sneaking up on a character. So if we backstab, I think we get 3x damage. We didn't hit, of course, because that would have been too much to ask. But it was worth a try. Oh, I think we died again. Doesn't seem like this armor is really doing all that much for us, does it? Still, the fact that we were able to sneak up on this this thief is promising, I guess. Try again. I don't know how we're going to sneak up on him with the door being so noisy, but it does give you an idea of like the detection radius of some of these enemies as well. No such luck. Just got comboed there, but hey, we won this time, so that's pretty good. Let's take that. What do we got here? That's a steel Daikatana. Let's, sure, we'll get rid of this one, and then we'll take that one instead. Kite shield, I don't know, can we take that? It's a little too heavy, I guess. What shield is that? It's a buckler. What if we get rid of that? No, it's too heavy. And this is probably more chain. Yeah, I'm not sure what is the most valuable stuff to take. So I guess we'll just leave this stuff. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Let's go ahead and we'll drop a save here. And yeah, let's go. Let's go this way. And we'll see if we can rest down here, maybe? No. Oh, yeah, because there's bats or something somewhere. Maybe if we go a little farther over here. Alright, running went up, long blade went up. If we actually look at our minor skills. Oh, yeah, I guess it shows you what just went up. But, yeah, I expect running's going to go up kind of frequently, just because we're probably going to be doing a lot of running, even though we're still trying to sneak. So, yeah, I guess we'll see how that goes. But I think, yeah, I think we'll call it here for the first episode. When we come back, we'll continue to explore this dungeon a bit, because I do still want to go over the hardware for the computer. So let's talk about that a little bit here. I'll bring something up on the screen. So, as far as what we have going on here, like I mentioned earlier, we're playing with a native MS-DOS PC. We're running MS-DOS 6.22 specifically. And we've got an old Biostar motherboard that can handle basically slot 1 CPUs up to around like 550 megahertz, I think. We're using a Pentium II 350, which has the 100 megahertz frontside bus. But I think this board can go up to 550, which includes like some of the lower Pentium 3s as well. For a GPU, we've got an AGP Rendition Verite card, which I think that's how you say it anyway. It's, I don't know, it's French. Which Verite stands for truth, I believe, which is a cute name for a graphics card, I suppose. That doesn't really matter for this playthrough at all. It's kind of a rare card. And has some interesting stuff as far as 3D graphics go. But this is all rendered in software, so the Pentium II is really doing all the heavy lifting here. And then for a sound card, we've got an Ensoniq Soundscape VIVO, which is kind of like a common OEM card, I think. Supposedly, I guess, the VIVO was sold at retail as well. But, yeah, Daggerfall supports the VIVO natively. So I figured, why not give it a try instead of like a Sound Blaster or something, since I've got kind of a little bit of an eclectic machine here anyway with the Rendition. And the VIVO's a good Windows 95 card as well, I hear. Though I haven't done terribly much testing with it in Windows 95 yet. For music, like I also mentioned earlier in the video, we were using a Roland SC55, so this is, you know, about as good as it gets for 90s MIDI. There are other options. I could have maybe tried my MU80, I think it is, from Yamaha, but the SC55 seemed appropriate here. Aside from that, we've got 64 megs of RAM. The game can only access 16. I may bump it up to 32, just because of the way that I have EMM386 set up in my DOS config. Yeah, I don't know, seems to work fine. It's 100 megahertz SDRAM. I think at CL3, maybe? Maybe CL2, but it's fine. The DOS partition has 900 megs, which is enough for Daggerfall. And it's on just an old Quantum Fireball hard drive, so it's, you know, roughly period accurate, I guess, to, you know, 96, 97-ish, I think. And then for an optical drive, I don't think this matters for the playthrough, but it's just, I had an older drive in, but it broke down, and I haven't had a chance to figure it out. It's probably like a belt or something, but, yeah, I just grabbed a DVD drive that I had that was IDE, and it's a more modern drive from like mid-2000s, I think, running at 48X, but I don't think that matters for this, because I did a full install when I did the game, like the biggest, like a huge install size, I think it's called. So I think everything's on the hard drive, even like the videos, and the disc is just for like DRM purposes, basically. So yeah, I don't think that's gonna come into play during this playthrough at all, but I guess we'll see. If I hear it spin up to try to do something, I guess I'll let you know. You might be able to hear it in the microphone anyway, who knows. But yeah, so that's the computer that we're using. Should be a lot of fun, this playthrough. We've got a little ways to go before we get out of this dungeon, but I had, you know, some stuff that I wanted to get through as far as just getting the playthrough introduced and talking about the hardware specs, so I didn't want this video to run on too terribly long. But when we come back, yeah, we'll spend more time just exploring the dungeon and having some fun, you know, trying to punch some things, and/or smacking them with our sword as the situation demands. And then hopefully, yeah, next time we'll be able to get out of the dungeon. And maybe, we'll see, maybe if we have time, we'll have the ability to look at some of the overworld and town stuff in Daggerfall, because that's what really makes this game, I would say, unique amongst the other Elder Scrolls titles.